Hello and good morning. It's Phil Thatch and I'm here on a windy morning at Volkswagen Wetlands without my microphones. So I don't know why, I just can't remember my microphones, and so I don't have them. But I'm here at Volkswagen Wetlands and I've seen a couple things. I saw some young mallard chicks and I saw a prairie warbler, and a cardinal just flew by. But I'm playing around with the Canon R6 and the crazy, I like to call it the crazy 800mm f11 lens. Gosh, that thing is going to be amazing when, holy cow, I have to go. Okay, we'll take a look at the bird that made me stop that clip here in just a moment. But first, this was a female northern cardinal that I photographed from my back porch before I went to Volkswagen Wetlands, and it's got some of those strawberries, little wild strawberries that grow in the neighborhood in its mouth. Now this is a palm warbler. I don't know why I said prairie warbler in the previous clip, but I did see this palm warbler, super tiny in the frame on this shot there at Volkswagen Wetlands. And here are the mallard ducklings that were there at Volkswagen Wetlands. There were 3 of them, and I never could get all 3 of them with their eye present in the photograph, and it was kind of tricky to get 2 of them with their eye present in the photograph, but on this shot I did get 2. Sorry about that. Right while I was making that clip, a eastern Phoebe flew up and landed just right next to me, and you know, the minimum focus distance on this 800 is 19 feet, so I had to actually step back a little bit before I was far enough away to focus on it, and I was able to make some really beautiful, I thought, photos that will not need to be cropped at all, even though I'm on full frame. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to keep working. Here is the eastern Phoebe that flew up and landed on this piece of wood that was sticking up out of the water there at Volkswagen Wetlands. It was really cool. And like I said in the clip there, I was actually too close to it to focus on it with the 800 f11. I actually had to scoot back a little bit. And I made a few photographs, and this is probably the best photograph I've made so far with that lens. I've only had it just a little while, and I was really happy to get a bird at minimum focus distance with that lens. Well, this is definitely turning out to be a pretty interesting morning. I met a fellow named Dave. I forgot his last name. He told me his last name, and he had gotten a photograph of a Prothonotary, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's call it a P warbler. He got a picture of one of those, and he said it's still out there calling. And so I had taken a picture of one years ago, but I'd forgotten the call, and he taught it to me. You can probably hear it in this clip. And with that information, I was able to kind of zoom in on it and get a picture of it. Now it's going to be super tiny in the frame, even with the you can still hear it, even with the 800mm lens. It's really, really tiny in the frame. But I worked on that for a while, and then I looked over here across the street, and in the top of one of those trees was a bird that appeared to be a bird of prey. So I pointed my lens at it, and I'll be doggone if it wasn't an American kestrel. Now, I've heard of friends of mine getting photographs of American kestrels here at Volkswagen Wetlands a number of times, but I have never been so fortunate until today. Now, I'm still going to have to crop that picture a little bit, but I think it's actually going to be my best American kestrel photograph I've ever made. So, pretty excited about that. So I guess the worst thing that's happened today is I forgot my microphones. Sorry about the wind noise. Well, there it is, the beautiful Prothonotary Warbler, and as I photographed it, it was singing at the time. That's why its beak is pointed up and its head is tilted back. Now this is extremely cropped, this photograph. The bird was a long, long way away, but it still was really nice to see and photograph it. And here is the American kestrel that I photographed across the street there, as I showed you in the previous clip. Just a beautiful little bird of prey, and I was super happy to see it. I love the colors of this bird, and I thought the photograph turned out really good for how far away the bird was. Well, I'm still at Volkswagen Wetlands, but I've decided to do this clip from in the car so there won't be any wind noise. And I've wandered around a little bit more, and I found another cool bird. It's been a really decent morning here at Volkswagen Wetlands. I made a photograph, super tiny in the frame. It's going to have to be majorly cropped. But it's an Indigo Bunting, which I haven't made very many photos of those in my life. So it's pretty cool to get a photograph of this beautiful blue bird. Here's my photograph I made of the Indigo Bunting. And you know, kind of the theme of this video is small birds very, very far away. And this 800mm lens makes it possible to photograph them. But you won't fill the frame with them at the distance that I was shooting. But I think with the 500, the 100 to 500, these shots would not have been possible at all without maybe a teleconverter attached. I came up here to the trailhead for the Summit Knobs Equestrian Trail, which is just probably less than a mile from VW Wetlands, because it has a restroom, which is a fantastic thing if you like coffee while you're doing photography. And there's a great trail over here to hike. But and there's some birds around here, but I wasn't able to get any shots. I've got a lot of stuff I got to do later today, so I'm going to go ahead and head home and call this a video. But it has been a lot of fun working this morning with the crazy 800 f11 Canon RF lens. It's just defies reason how well it works for such a small aperture and low price. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.